In this video, we are talking about when is the best time to upgrade your CRO debit card and the checklist that I have before I upgrade. You can always take certain points from this video and create your own checklist. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Ben. I've made over 6 figures trading crypto. I'm on a journey to 10K a month of passive income to spend more time with friends and family, and I want to help you all do the same. Let's go. So a little story time. I worked at Little Caesars during high school and a little after graduation. I never got sick of their pizza, and I still eat it just as much as I did before working there. The one difference is I always have to have it fresh, like fresh pepperoni. If it's cold or old, then I just can't do it. But one of my favorite things was experimenting with making pizzas. We would make our own stuffed crust with cheese and bacon and use different sauces as the base, and it was always delicious. It was a really fun job and I really liked it. Now back to the video. This is a question that I get all the time and often have spent a lot of time pondering on when is the best time to upgrade my CRO debit card. Just like with many questions, there can be multiple answers. So I want to share with you my thoughts and different ideas I have based on different situations. Starting with the Ruby Red Steel card, you should try and get this as soon as possible since it adds more perks than the Midnight Blue free card. I personally used my Midnight Blue card for about a week or so before I made the leap to upgrade. You'll get free Spotify, which is worth $156 a year, an extra 1% for cashback, so now it's 2% instead of 1% before, and a $25 sign-up bonus. If you wanted to see this in more detail, check out my video on each card where I created a spreadsheet to show you all the returns you'd be getting from each card. So when to upgrade to Ruby Steel from Midnight Blue? My answer would be right now if you can. If you aren't able to yet, save or set aside $100 a week for 4 weeks and use that to upgrade to a Ruby Steel card. It'll be totally worth it, and if you aren't able to set aside that much a week, make it half of that or a quarter of that. You can also use the cash back from your Midnight Blue card to go towards your next card, which is a key point to remember in this video. Each time you earn Crow from cashback or staking, etc., that is essentially saving up for the next card you want to get. Now, creating a budget can also help you save more to get to the next upgrade. So calculate where you're spending the most or an excessive amount and see if you can save money in those areas. Make a spreadsheet or write it down so you can have a visual reminder and know exactly where you're spending. Now the checklist that I created is more for the later cards to see if you should upgrade. Number 1, has Crow moved up a drastic amount lately? Number 2, how has it performed in relation to the rest of the market? Number 3, is this more than 50% of my total portfolio if I upgrade, or 40% or 30%? Number 4, am I able to lock up this amount again in 6 months, even if the prices are lower? Number 5, am I comfortable locking up this amount for 6 months? Number 6, is it better for me to wait 3 to 6 months before I make this upgrade? And number 7, what is my game plan with this upgrade? What do I want to see Crow do for me to make this step? Now these are questions I ask myself often, and you could tweak these however you want, but the main ones I want you to consider are numbers 2, 3, and 4. If Crow has underperformed the market like last year, for most of it, it was between 10 and 20 cents until the end of the year. So people ask me often, why don't you just upgrade to the Icy White? Because you'll earn more Crow, because you'll have to lock up more Crow. And that is perfect for most people that are holding everything long term. I have had a game plan for the longest time that I wanted to take profits every 10 to 20 cents and sell some and then upgrade to the Icy White once it was close to $1 and lock up roughly 40,000 Crow, which is exactly what I did. The reason that I did it like this was because I had acquired the majority at a lot lower prices and I wanted to take profits and I wanted to make more Crow by selling at 60, 70, 80, 90 cents and then rebuying at 60, 50, and 40 cents, etc. This was my game plan for the whole year and I stuck with it. It's important to figure out your own personal game plan when it comes to upgrading. Now here's a spreadsheet that I created to show you the different amounts your portfolio would need to be for a specific percentage of it to be in the card. Something to really take into consideration is when you're upgrading to the higher tier cards, it should be less and less of your overall percentage of your portfolio. The reason I have it set up like this is to not have all my eggs in one basket. If you want a $400,000 card, I think you should have at least 1 to 2 million in your portfolio, if not even more than that. It's a goal of mine to get that card, but I'm in no rush to get it. I want to work towards it over the years, and when I see it at 20% or less of my overall portfolio, I'll take the leap to get it. So looking at this spreadsheet, I have it broken up into Ruby Steel, Royal Indigo, Jade Green, Icy White, Rose Gold, Obsidian. And so how much of your portfolio is in the card? If it's 10%, your portfolio would be 4,000 for the Ruby Steel, 40,000 for the Royal Indigo, 400,000 for the icy white, and 4 million for the obsidian. And if it's 20%, it's going to change 2,000, 20,000, etc. And depending on the amount, this is what your portfolio should look like. So we take these numbers so that we can see what our portfolio would need to be in order to make the leap to upgrade. And you want to make an idea of how much of your portfolio percentage is made up in that upgrade to the card. And like I said before, if you're upgrading, the higher tiers that you go, the percentage of the portfolio should be less and less. So I put some percentages as examples of your portfolio per card. The ruby still isn't going to be as important, so I have 70% or less, because you can easily continue to get more in your portfolio and build off of that, and that percentage will drop more and more. Same with the royal indigo and jade green. Those percentages will drop over time, and so even if you wanted to upgrade, let's say at 50% of your portfolio, so your portfolio would be 8,000 like you can see right here, that would still be a decent time to upgrade. And then as you move up to icy white, rose gold, and obsidian, you want that to be less, like 25, 40%, or 10 to 30% for the obsidian card. So then I also have some questions just to test you. If you were to upgrade to royal indigo and want it to be 20% of your portfolio, how much should you have? And then you can just find it on this spreadsheet that I created. So if you want to use this, feel free to download it in the description below, and hopefully it can help you. So talking about the royal indigo or jade green card, I would focus on upgrading this card as quick as you can, because that 10% staking on your $4,000 of Crow makes it worth rushing to get it. And with the extra 1% and free Netflix also adds some more incentive. Like in the spreadsheet I made, I think this could still be like 60% of your entire portfolio, because this gets you started and you can continue buying more crypto once you get this card. It'll definitely be a game changer in your portfolio, especially over a long period of time. Do the same thing that you did for the Ruby Steel card and set aside a certain amount to go towards getting your card, and be patient. Don't sell all your other investments to get it either. Just wait patiently, and when you see good buying opportunities in the market, take advantage of those as well. I personally upgraded to this card about a month after using my Ruby Steel card, and I absolutely was ready for an upgrade. It was about 10 to 15% of my portfolio at the time, and I knew that for the next upgrade I would have to wait a lot longer and be very patient. When you end up upgrading to the next card, you'll have to pay a $50 fee for the new card, which I believe is a new thing because I don't remember paying that fee for my other two cards. But keep that in mind when you do upgrade. Just a reminder, you'll earn that back pretty quickly just from staking for the card. For the icy white or rose gold card, I say this is where we might have a different point of view. For most people that are able to upgrade can do so when they want. I prefer to be extra patient and have a specific plan. I upgraded to an icy white when Crow was close to $1 because I had that plan and I didn't want to lock up so much of my Crow so that I could trade with more of it. For anyone that is just holding and not really focused on any trading, then this might not be the best move for you, because the more Crow that you lock up for the card, the more Crow rewards you'll receive from staking. I personally just want to have a lot of my crypto available to take profits and sell if I see them at certain price targets. Just make sure that when you upgrade that you consider if the prices go down, will you still be able to lock up that 40,000 in 6 months? So that is why when it gets to be the higher tier cards, I want it to be less and less of my portfolio. When I upgraded to the icy white, it was about 20 to 25% of my total portfolio, and I was prepared to put in more Crow in 6 months if it went down. I probably won't upgrade to the obsidian card until I have 2 to 3 million in my portfolio, and so if the market crashes, I won't have to lock up like 50% or more of my portfolio. In the long term, I think it's best to have this conservative approach, especially when you're getting the higher tier cards. In regards to each question on my checklist, my answer for question 1, which is, has Crow moved up a drastic amount lately? If the answer was yes to that, I would have to consider a correction coming and be ready for that. It would make me think, well, if it's gone up drastically, should I take more profits and wait for a better time to rebuy so I have more Crow? And then if the answer is no to that question, then you can stake more Crow and not really worry about the price action going down as much. It all comes down to personal preference. Next question, how has Crow performed compared to the rest of the market recently? If it's outperformed the market recently, then like the previous question is it better to sell some now and hope to buy back more Crow later? And if the answer that it's underperformed, should you buy more Crow to stake for the card? And how much has it underperformed the rest of the market? In Satoshi prices, we are currently around 1,000 Satoshis. The all-time high was around 2,700 Satoshis, and the lowest point was around 150 Satoshis. If we're under 500 Satoshis for Crow at any point in the future, that is telling me that we are underperforming the market, and even more so if it's at like 300 Satoshis. If we are over 2,000 Satoshis or more, that is telling me that we are outperforming the market. Question 3, how much of my entire portfolio would this make to upgrade? 50%, 40%, 30%? That is one that I think will be personal preference. I think under 40% is ideal and 25% as you get to the higher tier cards. Being diversified is important. As your portfolio grows, you should have the majority in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which will be less volatile so your portfolio doesn't get hit as hard when the market dips. Question 4 through 6 is kind of similar, so we're just going to answer it all right here. Am I able to lock up this amount again in 6 months even if the prices are lower? If the answer is yes, you got to consider how much more you'll have to lock up if the price goes down 10, 20, 30%, or even 50%. Like I said, this goes along with question 5. Are you comfortable with locking up that amount for 6 months? Or is it going to really stress you out about having that much locked up? And then with question 6, if you feel uncertain about it, just wait another 3 to 6 months and see how you feel after that. That is one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. If you're uncertain at any point, just wait 6 months and see how you feel then. Question 7, what is my game plan with this upgrade? What do I want to see Crow do for me to make this step? It's so important to have a game plan, and this should be with every investment that you make and business you have or real estate that you own, etc. My game plan with Crow was to keep buying more when it was between 5 and 20 cents and do trades whenever I saw an opportunity, and to stake 40,000 tokens around $1 for the Icy White card. I said I wasn't going to lock up more before that price. I wanted to use it to take profits and make more trades. I had enough Crow, so if it came back down to 40, 50 cents, I could stake the amount of Crow needed to get the card again after 6 months. I basically waited a whole year for this to play out how I planned, and there are many times when I wanted to just upgrade, and I'm very glad that I stuck to my plan. So what is your plan? Create a plan and stick with it. For the Obsidian card, I won't upgrade until I have 2 to 3 million in my portfolio, and I will wait for a good time when Crow has underperformed the market and I can take that leap to get the card. Upgrading your card is a huge test of patience. We all want the next card, especially after using the current one for a while. So create a plan, make a checklist so when you do get those exciting feelings to upgrade, you'll take a step back and ask these questions and reconsider making that jump. If you found this video helpful, check out my videos on each of the debit cards to see them explained in more detail. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, as always, keep it in the green.